Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear and I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off radical, I know, by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, well, this is your opportunity to just lurk, kick back, relax, and enjoy the stream. We've got Lashbrook here. We got Ghost Valve here. Welcome to both of you. Happy to have you here on this fine, what are we doing here? Saturday night. It's Saturday. I hope you're all doing well. I am excited for tonight's events. We are going to continue working on the full armor 7th Gundam high grade. We might finish it tonight. We have to finish the legs up. And then the waist, let's see, we got the legs, we got the waist, we got the connector piece for the waist there. And then we have the backpack, which also has a gun on it. It's like a gun pack. So we do need to put all that together. So we do have some kit left. Oh yeah, and there's the gun that goes in the back there in the backpack. There's also a lot of fucking stickers left. I just want to say that there's a ton of stickers that needs to get applied to these legs. So that's why I'm not sure if I'm going to finish up. Now I know what I'm building next. I got a Lego set on deck from my backlog. Happy to work on that soon. But so at least I know. So when we do finish this up, we can start that. So I want to say oh, we're definitely finishing tonight because there's a lot of stickers that need to get applied to these legs that are of a color correcting nature. And they'll have to panel line it, get to, it'll be fun. I think we'll go to the overhead camera here. We'll go over to main. Booyah, there we go. You can see we got the upper half of the kit done, the feet done, the shield done. So that's all done. And then we have parts of the legs assembled. But right now, the next step is doing the many stickers that have to go on this goddamn leg here, or both of these legs. So this is the last step, and then we go one at a time. So, and then there's all of these remaining stickers, I believe, go on these legs. So we will have to do that. And there's also one of my least favorite things, stickers that go on stickers, because that is on C14, which we can get out here. There's a sticker that goes on like this and over, and then there is it covers this part, and then there's a sticker that goes on there. I'm 99% sure that's what happens, because it says. Let me use Google Translate just here real quick here. Let me just get on the old Google Translate, see what's up. I believe camera. I believe the instructions say. Lastly, the stickers will be attached at the end. Yes, the seal goes on first, and that goes on top of it. Okay. Got it. Figure it all out. I'll get it done. Let me just pop out these pieces here. Off the bat, before we get into news stories that I want to chat with you all about, I should just quickly give an update on my computer. You may have heard me on Thursday talk about how I was running out of storage space on my SSD, my main SSD, and I was thinking, well, I guess I could move my games off and maybe run games off of my backup SSD, which is storage right now. It's storage. Also, all my music is on there because it's fun to run that stuff off SD and all that. And I can move that to my other hard drive, which is a 2 terabyte drive that is not an SSD, and I wouldn't really want to run music off that, but I could figure something out and make it work if needed. That's kind of like what the decision that I came to there. All right, so we need to do the Y symbol needs to go on this side. And then the other, yeah, so that goes on here. So I'm applying this sticker down. I'm going to line up the bottom here because the top folds. So I want to line up the bottom piece right and make sure I'm applying that right. And I was on the wrong side here. All right, so that applies like that. And then This is off, so I got to reapply it. So yeah, I was talking about this on Thursday, how I was like fairly convinced that I was going to have to move some stuff around. Turns out I just happened to go and delete some programs, some stuff that I don't use on the computer. And I was like, well, let's see what else is on here. Let me look in my add and remove programs. Okay, this is definitely on the wrong. This is just wrong. Let me just see what I've got here and see if I can make some room on this hard drive. I definitely won't be able to free up enough room on it, but like, I don't know, I'll find something on here that doesn't need to be on there, and that'll be good. All right, is this the right piece for this? This is right. Okay. And the answer came to me. Apparently, I use a program called, what is it? Is a clip? What is it? Something. It's real. It's got a real dumb name. Microsoft Clipchamp. Microsoft Clipchamp is a video editing software, piece of software that I use. That is very lightweight. It is very small and it is very easy. Now, I don't do major projects on it, but I do a lot of little projects on it because it is lightweight, it is easy to use. It is how I add my captions to the shorts that I make, the hard embedded captions. It's just like a really easy program. The timeline functionality works really well. I know all the shortcuts. I use it. Is it the best thing? No. Bigger projects I end up doing in Blender, which is very robust and, you know, not meant for video editing, but can do a lot of things. So it turns out Clipchamp backs up everything. It backs up the source files. It backs up every source file. It backs up every project that you do. And it doesn't tell you that it's backing up the whole project every single time. So since I've been using this computer, which is in 2002, every time I have edited a video, it has saved, it has archived that said video. Okay, so this is this is the wrong one. All right, I got it now. Every single time. And also, I said that I don't use that software for big projects. I use other things. That's not to say that I don't put big files in there, because sometimes, like, I have like a 2-hour file and I only need like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Or let's say that I need to merge 3 video files together. I don't have to do any editing. I don't have to do anything with it. I just need to take 3 videos and squish them together and then export it. And I could do that in command line with FFmpeg, but I don't want to. FFmpeg, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to use the command line. I just want to use software. So in that instance, I would use Clipchamp. What I am trying to tell you is that I could not find where these files were, so I just deleted Clipchamp and then re-downloaded it. It took me 2 minutes to re-download Clipchamp. But when I deleted it, what I was left with was 200 more gigabytes of storage space on my SSD. My main ass SSD recovered a little over 200 gigabytes. So what I'm trying to say is I don't need a new SSD, and I currently don't need to move all my games off of my main hard drive to my other SSD. Yes, Lashbrook, it's a very big jump. It took a very long time for Remove Program to remove Clipchamp because of all of the fucking stuff in it. As far as I can tell, there's some kind of dump folder within Clipchamp that I need to go and find, which I could not find. It is somewhere, and that just stores everything you've ever worked on, like a backup, in case you need to find it, which is nice, except I didn't know that. And I didn't know it because I've been using that program for a while. Clipchamp basically replaced for me Windows Movie Maker, which I used to use for a very long time, just to like convert files or match audio. incredibly bare bones, unnecessarily bare bones. I just didn't want Final Cut on my home PC, and that's what I was using, or Premiere, because I wasn't ever doing anything too extravagant. And honestly, like, I uploaded an episode today of Pat Baer's Anime Club that will go up on Monday for everybody, but I recorded it today in OBS at my recording settings for OBS, which are different from my streaming settings. My recording settings are much higher. That video doesn't need any editing. I mean, it probably could use editing in some cases. It's not going to, I should be clear, it's not going to receive any edits. It's just going to be done. I didn't open it anywhere. Clipchamp, I should say, one of the upcoming, two videos from, sorry. I record every other week. I record 2 episodes of Kuma Baer. I do them back to back. I like doing that. That way I don't have to do it weekly. I could do 4 at once. I like doing them twice a month. All right, so it's this piece here, and I got to figure out how this works here. So they have to be under a minute. That's my hard limit. Now, most of the time, I will record one. I will think about it. I will, watch it back, go, is this good? Did this fit? And sometimes I record one and I go, this thing is over a minute long. So I'm just going to record it again. I know what I want to say. I like that they're off the cuff. I'm practiced, but I'm not writing a script for them. I'm just kind of figuring it out. I know my bullet points that I'm trying to get at. The video that I recorded for what will be the last Wednesday of the month's upload, I kept it. It would be a minute and 10 seconds, a minute 15, a minute 20. As I was trying to trim down and re-record it, I realized that it was just getting longer. There was such a big premise and there was so much about it I wanted to talk about that I couldn't fucking nail it. And so what I ended up doing is a thing that I haven't done before is I ended up editing. And I took out the part that starts every episode of Kuma Baer. And I do not apologize for that. I was just like, let me see how long this one video is if I take out the part where I go, I'm Pat Baer and this is Kuma Baer, your weekly anime recommendation. I took that out and I am like at 56 seconds. And I was like, perfect. It's 56 or 57, something like that. I was like, perfect. We're uploading it. Should I have recorded it one more time and tried to get all of it in, including that? Yeah, probably. Did I do that? Nope. Instead, I was like, well, what if I, instead of that, just do my fucking best? I think it's fine that I don't say what the series is. I say what it is at the end. It's in the title. I think it's okay. Oops, sorry. I gotta look at these legs here. Show me this leg. Okay, so where the knee piece there is where it's black, and then the sticker goes on top of that, and then it bends over there. Okay, I got it. Sorry, this kit has a lot of stickers, as I've said. So yeah, I edited it. This is the first Kuma Baer that I have edited, because as I said, I was just kind of do my best to figure it out as I go. And I was like, well, I guess I should do a little editing on this one just to get it done. All right. So this goes like this, and then it bends over like that. Okay. That goes like that. And I'm going to let this kind of set here before I put the other sticker on. I'll do the other one here. And there's still more stickers that have to go on this leg. As I said, it's all the rest of the stickers except for the sticker that goes on the waist. I should have said that. Okay. So, video game story. We go to a website that I don't generally use, but they reported on this. PC Gamer. PC Gamer has a story about a game release that is not there's an issue. There's a big issue with an upcoming video game. There's supposed to be a video game that comes out October 15th. And the internet knows that this is happening. Google is telling us about this. Speaking of Windows, it took like a good 5 hours over 3 days, but I managed to fix my Windows install. Nice, Lashbrook. Happy to hear that. Good on you. So there's an upcoming video game release, and there's a problem with it. It's not real. It's a game that's not coming out and doesn't actually exist. It's a lie. If you were highly anticipating Bugsnax 2 coming out October 15th, or sorry, Bugsnax 2 The City, you would be bummed out because October 15th is going to roll around and that game isn't going to come out. Now, what's happening here? Well, what's happening here is that Google's AI does not understand that what's written in a wiki could be fake. And in this case, it's not even malicious. It is fanon wiki. Fanon wikis are for fans to create ideas and what ifs. And so someone was just like, what if there was a sequel to Bugsnax 2 and it was called The City? Let's see. I want to see if I can find the exact thing here. Phil tweeted about it and it's basically just like, no, we are not working on a Bugsnax sequel right now, and I need AI BS to stop telling kids we are based on wiki ideas fanfic. And apparently there was like a comment. Hey, Lord Crasher, there was like a comment somewhere that led Phil to find this out. But yeah, I'm not going to say it always works, but if you're like Bugsnax 2 release, here's the thing. Fan wikis have a lot of traffic. Fan wikis have a ton of traffic. And in the same way that they're like, oh, put glue in your pizza, is because AI, the machine learning nonsense, can't differentiate bullshit written on Reddit or The Onion from anything. It's all information. They found the answer. Here's the answer. So there are people who have Googled Bugsnax 2 or Bugsnax 2 release date that are getting they're not being sent to the wiki, right? They're not being sent to that. There is a Google's authoritative voice is saying, Bugsnax 2 The City is an American puzzle game developed by Young Horses and being released on October 15, 2024. That's what Google says. And we've been conditioned to trust Google, that Google has the answers. This must have come from a website, because otherwise, why would Google say that? This is definitely information that was found. And if you don't go, okay, well, where did that information come from? Did it come from their Twitter account? Did it come from an article? Is it from a database? No, it's from a fan wiki of ideas, an ideas wiki, which is just complete and utter nonsense. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you it always comes out, but it generally, yeah. And then the top result is a fandom website, the Idea Wiki. But yeah, basically somebody who was 7 was like, I can't wait for Bugsnax 2. It's a real fucking bummer. I do appreciate that the end of this article for PC Gamer ends with Bugsnax 2 The City is not releasing on October 15th, 2024 in the spot where normally you would say when the game is coming out. RIP to the game sites with pages full of nothing for games that would show up at the top of search results. Yes, now you need text. Now, random ass wikis that no one's ever heard of are the top result for this. Like, who the fuck is posting on this? Like, what is this? Who's posting there? What's happening right now? It's all kinds of like goddamn nonsense. Just like oodles of nonsense. I don't know what part this goes, so we'll put that aside for a second. All right, let's get this piece on here, and then we can do the last sticker we need to put on, and then some other armor, and then we can panel line all of this one leg. But while we're here, we can also do the other ankle. Oodles of nonsense, the Gen AI story. Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. You'd hope that there would be something where it would be like, don't go to these websites for information. But there isn't, because they don't actually learn things. It's frustrating. It's funny, except that, like, here's the thing. Young Horse's Twitter account is going to get, hey, where can I buy bug snacks to the city? And some of it will be people who are funny being like, hey, or who think they're funny being like, hey. But there'll be actual honest to God people who are like, well, I Googled it and it said it was coming out, but I don't know where it is and I don't know how to buy it. Where do I get it? Like, no, because that's, yeah, Google, you can't trust Google. At the very least, you can't trust Google's summary of events. You can't, and you shouldn't. Kids have to learn about the internet's lies at some point. Yes, unfortunately, they have to learn it very early. And they also have to learn that what their parents told them about how to use the internet is out of date because their parents don't understand the internet fundamentally broke fairly recently. So they don't know that, so they can't impart that wisdom. But they will have to impart that wisdom because it is, unfortunately, unbelievably necessary to impart that wisdom now. All right, so it goes like this. And then this is going to go in there. And then we got to add in. Thank you for the follow, Meat Zad. Appreciate that. Welcome to the channel and the nonsense. I do have to give an update. On Thursday, we had a lot of bad, disappointing gaming news, and I thought I would, yeah, this is a fun one. There's a lot of stickers, which I don't hate, but I don't love. I tried to do a light story on Thursday, a light gaming story about how, hey, Flappy Bird is coming back. Isn't that fucking weird that Flappy Bird is returning? And it's like, oh, and the guy who made the game that Flappy Bird was definitely based on is going to be working on it. And there'll be a mobile version next year. And there's going to be new, it'll be the old version. And there'll also be like new stuff added. And that's fun. Some people acquired the rights to it. Apparently the people that acquired said rights, just happened to notice that they expired. They previously were, anything to do with Flappy Bird, the name Flappy Bird, that, the copyright on it, is been considered abandoned. And so they bought it. Whatever they're going to put out isn't the source code for Flappy Bird, because that's not they don't have that. They don't have the rights to anything to do with Flappy Bird other than the name Flappy Bird. Also, said people are crypto NFT people. So it's going to be, so Flappy Bird is coming back in NFT form. It'll be an NFT game. So I apologize for trying to be positive about Flappy Bird coming back. I did not have all of the information at time of stream on Thursday, so I apologize for not being able to tell you that that's not going to be great. In an update to a previous story, shit sucks. All right, let's put the last sticker I need to put on this leg, which is one of these. Gotta apply the sticker, and then we'll panel line one leg, and then we'll build the other leg up. We'll put the foot on there and do some panel lining, and we want to apply the sticker this way. So yeah, shit sucks. Okay. I think I just applied this right. Yeah. Yeah, that's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not looking for it to be perfect, but I do want to apply it. And we'll just lay it on there. Saber Interactive. You may remember that let's see. Saber Interactive was sold. They used to be Embrace. They were part of the Embracer group, and they got sold off. And in part of them getting sold off, they incurred debts, lots of debts. And apparently, part of the deal originally was that Zen Studio and 4A Games, Zen Studios and 4A Games were going to be part of this spinoff, and now they're not part of the spinoff. So Saber apparently has heavy investment from some investment funds in order to pay back these debts. Beacon Interactive basically Beacon Interactive sold them, bought a bunch of like assets and some subsidiaries of Saber for $247 million. And then apparently some of those subsidiaries didn't go with them. And Saber now has like 13 studios under their banner, and they're going to be ramping up with this investment. They're ramping up some studios to try to make some money, since they had to pay off all of this debt that they incurred, which I might remind you is not their debt. It's debt they got saddled with from Embracer, because one of the things that Embracer did was sell and then also push some debt onto another company, the company that they were selling, which is a thing that businesses do. And you might argue it wasn't necessarily about the money they were going to get for unloading these particular folks. It was the money they were going to get for unloading, the money they were going to save by unloading the debt. Hooray. They are the fine folks that launched Space Marine 2. And apparently that is doing well. It had about 2 million players on launch day, according to various places that record that information and present that information. Supposedly they're doing pretty okay as far as that goes. So congrats to Saber on that, and good luck paying off all your goddamn debt that you incurred as a happenstance of getting out of there. Saber's future projects include John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, and a remake of KOTOR that may someday actually come out. The director of Payday 3 has stepped away from the project. He's not left the studio, And according to this language, it sounds like he's not left Starbreeze. It's approaching its 1-year anniversary of Payday 3. The game director will no longer lead year 2 of the live service. He will step away from his role and refocus his efforts as a designer elsewhere in the project. So he's staying on the game, he's just not running it. I truly never understood how The Quiet Place is so popular. Yeah, Lashbrook, I don't know. Who knows if that game will be something that people will be talking their butts off about. But yeah, people like Quiet Place. He has been a part of Starbreeze for the director who stepped down for 12 years. And right now, the creative will be run by the brand director and the lead producer. Payday 3 has had just a ton of nonsense and was met with incredibly lukewarm response at launch because it was a mess, and then also really underperformed. People were not having it and not happy about it. Let's see. And they've been trying to revamp it like basically all year. They've been making steps to kind of get things back on track. And also despite, somebody moving off the project, they haven't really said, and this is what you can expect in year 2. So that's year 2 starts next month. Or sorry, year 2 starts this month. It's September. We'll see what happens with that. Good luck to them, I guess. Let's see. Those are the big news stories that I wanted to chat with you about. This got sent to me by quite a few people, so I wanted to at least mention it. After 2 years of work, Lego Stardew Valley has been done. Over 75,000 Lego bricks for this beautiful looking diorama of Pelican Town. And it won the People's Choice Award at BrickCon 2024. And apparently, including the creator of Stardew Valley, came and took a look and is very happy about that. This is Steven Jensen, is working on this Lego Stardew Valley for about 2 years and used, as I said, 75,000 Lego pieces. All the landmarks and stuff, and the farm, the community area, residence houses, and he recreated the title screen using Lego. And he's really, according to the guy, would that be what, $5,000 of a grill kit? It'd be a lot of money. Because also, you got to remember, Lower Crasher, it's not just about all of the pieces. It's the fact that it's a licensed property, so it would be charged even more. This isn't like 75,000 bricks for a Ninjago set or a Dreams. This would be a set that was, in a Stardew Valley set, so they would upcharge you. And it would be a heavy box, yes. It would be quite the size. I was able to make it almost entirely hollow, so you can look through the cracks and broken parts and see there's more openings on the other side. He won the People's Choice Award at BrickCon. He says it was better any award was the moment that Eric Barone showed up to look at the creation. And he didn't recognize him at first because, I think you got to be an uber fan to just recognize. But once he figured that out, he was very psyched about it. And that was bigger than winning, which is fun. That's just a fun bit of business. I don't know. I liked it. That story made me happy to see. I was like, oh, that's cool. Um, so I keep seeing stories about various developers are like, various game developers are trying to quell people asking them questions because those game developers are making games with Annapurna Interactive. And as you may remember from Thursday, there is currently one employee of that, and that is the new director or president of uh, Annapurna Interactive, because everyone at Annapurna Interactive, except for the new boss of it, quit and left. And I keep seeing news stories because, of course, people are asking game developers like, hey, are you going to be okay? Your game's coming out. And people are like, yeah, we're figuring it out. And the phrase that they keep using is, we're unaffected. And I hate that. And I wish they would stop fucking saying that, because it sounds like you don't need, like, everyone that worked with you on your game from Annapurna no longer does that. And you can say, we don't expect there to be too much trouble, there'll be a transition. But to say we're unaffected by a bunch of people quitting their jobs that were working, like, you don't know who to talk to. Your contact doesn't exist anymore. Like, to say you're unaffected is just weird as hell. And I understand there are contracts in place. You can't just say, hey, we wish we could work with the people we worked with before, but they don't work there anymore, so we can't. And I get you can't say that. But I think there's got to be a better phrase possible than that. Let's see. This article is from Kotaku. See. Where was that? Continue reading. Show me the quote. Let's see the quote. Thank you for the care. Remini's deal with Control 2, including Alan Wake Control AV rights, is with Annapurna Pictures, and we are self-publishing Control 2. So yeah, I guess I should say it's not so much that it's not so much that the actual individual, like, groups are saying that. It's that's the term that's being used in reports about this. And I don't have a big picture thought on here. I'm just saying it makes me annoyed to use that terminology, to use those words to describe this, because it's like, no, you're affected by it. Like, you are affected by this. Like, your contacts at this place are gone. While you are getting ready to put out your game, your publisher is trying to hire people because they don't have anyone. Or what most likely will happen is that your publisher is going to hire a third party folks, like another company, to run PR from them while they restaff their PR people and all of that, their publisher. So you are going to be dealing with some other company that got hired to be a middleman, most likely. And it's like, and that does not sound fine. I don't know. Yeah, I'm more mad than I need to be about it, but I am a little PO'd. Let's see if there's any other news that we can talk about here. Let's see. The folks that brought you Monopoly Go, Scopely, have canceled an unannounced project, but they have not laid anyone off. They have just moved everyone that was on that project to other teams. So that is a good bit of news there. I don't have much knowledge about this developer, but yeah, they're working on prototypes for other things. And they're just moving people around. It looks like they did not lay anyone off, which is nice. But they might end up, basically they're like, we don't want to lay anyone off, but we might have to if they don't have a role for them somewhere else. So again, it's not set in stone, but at least they're approaching it that way. So that's nice. All right, done with the black marker. Now it's time to move over to the gray marker. Yeah, let's see. Any other news? We can get some video game stuff here. Not video game stuff. We'll talk about the second half. That was video game stuff. Let's see. Last night, the WWE premiered on their SmackDown premiered on USA Network. They have been for the past 5 years on Fox, and last night they moved. The new deal started. They moved to their home on USA Network. They had an overrun, which I expect to see more often because that overrun means that they eat into if people want to go and watch Rampage over on TNT, that eats in their time. So I could see more overruns happening. Fox never wanted an overrun, but USA is happy to play ball. I think it was fine. One thing that was cool, and they've been doing this on Raw for a while, but this is the first time they've done it on SmackDown, picture-in-picture. Now, AEW does that all the time where the matches continue, and they have it in the corner, and then they move on during commercials. Usually there's like one commercial they'll run that wasn't picture-in-picture at the end, but everything else was. And this is the first time that SmackDown's done that, and I think it worked out pretty great. It was very funny, though. Roman Reigns was going to cut a promo, and it's very WWE style, especially in the last like 10 years, to have the wrestler come out right before the break. So you go, oh, well, I got to sit through the ads because I want to see this person speak. And they do that instead of doing it right when they come back from the ad break. Well, there was picture-in-picture, which they haven't really done on SmackDown, and nobody thought about that, in my opinion, because picture-in-picture last night for Roman Reigns was him just pacing around the ring, which he would be doing, but not on camera for the live audience. But because it was picture-in-picture, the home audience, me and other people, we just watched Roman Reigns pace around the ring, which I thought was pretty funny. Otherwise thought it was fine. I like streaming the USA through their website. That works out well for me. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Good on them. I don't know how to stream the CW on. I know there's a CW app, but I don't know if you can watch CW programming through a web browser, and I'm gonna have to figure that out for NXT when NXT moves there. And apparently, they will not have overruns on the CW, which makes sense. But other than that, it'll probably be the same. But I do need to figure that out because I don't always watch NXT live, but I do on occasion watch NXT live. So I would like to see that. Sports and sports entertainment spreading out in annoying ways these days. I mean, that just happens. I mean, all it is honestly, it in the case of WWE, it's actually condensing, because for a little while there, it will condense. Raw is going to move to Netflix. So, well, all my kilobytes dropped. I just need to tell you right now, folks, this is not me. I'll keep talking when this comes back. It's fine. I do not want to hear about it. It's coming back. It looks like we're fine here. When this happens, it's not me and it's not my internet. This is a Twitch issue. I was watching streams today, and people I know had similar issues today, where all of a sudden they had frame drops and suddenly they got disconnected. This is a Twitch problem, not a Pat Baer problem. I've had no problem streaming anything while this is happening, since Thursday. If this keeps happening, I'm sorry. Yes, Lashbrook, the new SmackDown logo is bad. But yeah, so up until yesterday, if you wanted to watch SmackDown, you watched it on Fox. If you wanted to watch Raw, you watched it on USA. And if you wanted to watch NXT, you watched it on USA. Now, right now, you will watch, the CW is getting NXT, and USA has SmackDown, and USA has Raw. Now, eventually, Raw is going to move to Netflix. So right now, or starting on Tuesday, 2 out of the 3 programs are on one network, and then 1 is on another. And then next year, when it moves to Netflix, it will be 3. One thing that's kind of interesting is Raw, for a brief period, is going to go down to 2 hours. Their deal with USA for Raw is going to end before the Netflix deal starts. And so they signed a temporary, like a short-term contract with USA. And that contract is for like a 2-hour show. So for a little while, they're going to lose an hour of programming, which is not bad because 3 hours is too long. It's 3 hours with commercials. And then so the hope is that the Netflix show will not be 3 hours. There will be, commercial segments and all that, but the hope is they won't have that on Raw when it's on Netflix, because that will be bad news. But yes, as Lashbrook says, the new logo isn't good. The new SD logo is bad. The new song, I think, is totally fine. I like Meg Thee Stallion. She's been a wrestling fan for a long time. Megan Thee Stallion, I should say. Megan Thee Stallion. She's been a wrestling fan for quite some time, so I'm glad that she's a part of the mix, because she seems excited about it. And I thought that song was totally all right. Also, because the previous SmackDown song sucked. Better Than Me was a bad song that I was tired of hearing. So I'm happy with the new song. I think it sounds great. But yeah, I thought the first night went well. Took a little while. I had to run USA on Chrome. Firefox decided it did not. My Firefox decided it didn't like it, which is fine. Yes, The Beautiful People was a weird choice. It was a very strange choice at the time. Let's see. Any other news in the world of wrestling? No, I think that's it. Let me see over here. Collision is happening right now. I'm going to watch the Collision replay after this stream is over. Be happy to get back to that. I know that it was recorded on Thursday, so results are out there. And I did my best to not read any of the results, but I do know who was on the card. I did see the card breakdown because they don't always announce every little thing. And Yuka Sakazaki is back. Yuka got injured while wrestling Emi Sakura. And has recovered from her injury and is up against Serena Deeb because they were having a program. They were starting a program with each other that ended was delayed because of injuries, and those injuries are now over, which rules. You love to hear it. Congratulations to Yuka for coming back. It also sucked because Yuka Sakazaki had graduated from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling to focused on moving to America with her boyfriend and getting used to American life. Hey, just under spicy, and then focusing on wrestling for AEW instead of splitting her time or mostly being in Japan. And she got injured, and so that really affected those plans. But also when she moved to America to focus on wrestling, um, she oh, did I put this on wrong? I did, huh? I did do that. I put this this is on wrong here. How can I fix that? I think I put this on backwards. We'll pop this out and we'll pop this out and we'll take a quick gander here. But this is not going in how it should. Well, that looks right. Oh yeah, because it's on backwards. Yeah, so I'll put this on backwards here. That's frustrating because I don't have an easy way to do that. I gotta pop everything off here, it looks like. So yeah, guess that's gotta go. Yeah. Well, that works. Yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did this wrong. All right, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I was annoyed because Yuka was in America for quite some time and just wasn't being used. And then finally she did get used and then got injured, which is, you know, just bad timing. But I'm glad she's doing better. She's healed up enough. Now I just hope that this, I mean, look, I'm never going to be unhappy with wrestlers having storylines that don't involve belts in the women's division because too many of that is, you know, that is too often that. But I do hope that this storyline is short-lived and Yuka just moves on to maybe having a title match, you know, like going after a belt, because that would be rad. All right, so where does this connect here? I gotta figure this out. Okay, there we go. All right, so I can pop this up. I can pop this open. I'm gonna take this, gonna turn it around. And then this goes. Shit, now I don't know which way it's supposed to go, which is awesome. Like that, it goes like this. It's gotta go like that. Okay, so it goes like that. Yes, so it goes like that. And this will go here. And then this piece needs to go. Goes like that. So this got to face this way. Yeah. All right. I think I am going to get to be able to put this back together correctly. We'll see. This all seems to be right. Oops. Except for that part there. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this sticker goes on there. That goes back like that. That's going to bend how that needs to bend. This is going to go on like this. And then, yeah. Hooray! I didn't fuck it up when I was fixing it. So far, I'm almost done fixing it. That's always a fun detour where I just really mess things up. Always nice. But it's not always the case, but often the case is when you make mistakes like when I make mistakes like that, it is something that can be fixed. Occasionally you got to work a little hard to do it, but it is doable. And that goes on like that. This goes on like that. One thing that's weird is this back piece is not connecting, right? So that's weird. I don't know why that's the case, but huh. No, it snapped. Fuck. That's not good. All right. Well, we get to get out the old liquid cement, as I said. Oh yeah, not everything can be fixed, but most things can be fixed. Snap. Liquid cement is we good here. Basically, is going to be that this is not going to have as much movement as it should, because I will be trying to adhere two pieces back together here, which is going to be difficult to do. I am not going to put too much effort into this because this is just, thing I'm not like super stressed about, but I would like to get this together here so that it can live well. That does mean that we are going to disassemble everything again, because I do need to get at that piece. It's frustrating. We'll pop that up. Then we got to pop this open. Got to pull this sticker off because the sticker goes over the seal. The two parts. Then we can pry this apart here. Ugh. All right. Almost done prying this apart. Oh yeah, this comes off. That'll make things easier. Great. So a little piece here that went into the poly cap broke. That's the lower poly cap piece. That's the top. This poly cap goes in here. Oops. I wonder if I should do it like with it in there. That's probably for the best, because that way by pushing this into the poly cap, it's probably going to break it. So yeah, all right, I got to do like this here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put some liquid cement on here. And put some liquid cement on here. And then I'm going to try to fuse these parts together. Enough that I can attach everything back together, and we won't have as much movement on this leg as we normally would, but at the very least it'll be set. All right. So now I'm holding these two pieces together as best I can. And then I'm going to add some more here. All right, let's put the lid back on. Then I'm going to and now I am just going to be putting some pressure on here and letting these two pieces of plastic try to adhere to one another. And hopefully, once it does that, it will be stable enough that I can put the leg back together. I don't quite know what I'll do if it doesn't adhere enough for me to get it back together. Let's just leave that for a little bit here. So while I do the pause to the cause, we're going to let that dry and let that set, and then we will reattach everything together, and we will hope that it does not fall apart. And if it does, then that is a cautionary tale of sometimes when you go to fix things, they just don't. But we'll give this as much time as possible to cure. We'll even build the waist of the kit, which is more involved stuff to do there, and the last sticker that we have to apply and all that. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, what I do know is that we're going to take a few moments to talk about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to, I would love that. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If you are a subscriber here to the Build a Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. So if you wanted to, you could throw the emotes in the chat. Let the people know that being a subscriber is the easiest way to support me. You get cool emotes. You don't see any ads during the stream or before the stream starts. That's really nice. Also, we are currently at 26 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about subscribers at 40. I should let you know that it is indeed September. Okay, Nightbot's working. That's good. There are 25% off new subscribers. So if you're not currently subscribed to Build Workshop, if you've never done that before, you can subscribe and save money, which is great. Reminder, don't use the app. Go to a website, go to the Twitch website to do it. Also, there are extra bits until the September 17th, I should say. So, to bring this up here, we are currently saying that there are bonus bits, 10% off on top of, or 10% more on top of 300 bits. So if you cheered 300 bits, I would get a bonus on top of that. And that's nice. That is a way to support me here on the stream. Also, you could gift a sub. We've had 0 gifted subs this month. If you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, that would be rad. I would love that. So you could do that now if you wanted to, or you can do that anytime. You don't have to wait for me to ask you to. A reminder that I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. Over on Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon if you'd like. Again, that would be rad. I have another idea of something that I'm going to try to do. So yeah, consider joining me on Patreon if you'd like to do that. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, I post videos and you can watch those. Also, on my YouTube, there is a membership. Subscribing is free, but if you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you can get my Wednesday videos a day early. And as I said, I filmed those in advance, so they're ready to go. And there's a video waiting for you next Tuesday instead of waiting till Wednesday. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you want to, on a one-time basis, jump in my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, you can do that. For a direct donation and everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund I take money out to buy model kits, including this kit, the Full Armor 7th Gundam that we're currently building, that I thought we might finish tonight, but who knows, now that I'm having to repair a piece, we might not finish it. We still might. What else was I going to say? That's something else I was saying. Oh, I have a backlog of stuff to build. I know what I'm building next. My patrons decided that what's going to be on deck. But if you want to have your say in what I work on next, if you're like, Pat, I would like to decide what you built, not your patrons. Well, you could always go to my Amazon wish list and buy something for me to build. Anything purchased on my wish list will jump the queue and become the next thing that I build. And then also get a dedicated YouTube video about the kit where I thank you. It's a mailbag video. I've got Lego sets. I got model kits. I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. Kits with free shipping. Kits with Prime shipping that take a little bit longer, but might actually packaged well, as opposed to Amazon, which does not package things particularly well these days. All kinds of Lego, some knockoff Lego, some model kits, very old kits, some fairly modern stuff, a bunch of things and things. Take a look, see if there's something there you'd like to see me build. And you could always pick that up for me to do it. And there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have some gear. It's just always good to have some stuff there. Because there's sometimes where people are like, I want to support the channel, but I don't know anything about model kits. Fine. Yes, Pat, I'll buy you this other thing. That'll help you out. Cool. I'll get you a stand for your model kits. It's like, yes, that would help me out. I have an alternative to Amazon, which is my throne wish list. I recently added some model kits to that list because sometimes people just don't want to use Amazon, which I respect and understand. So see if there's something there on the throne wish list that you'd like to go through there. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially, if you are so inclined to do so, is to go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. Then you say, okay, I'm going to buy this gift card, and they'll send you an email with a gift card code, not a physical gift card, the code. Then you copy and paste that code to me on Whisper here on Twitch, or send a DM to Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to purchase something from USA Gundam Store to build. And you jump the queue and you get that dedicated video about it. Again, that's the most convoluted way to support me. People have done it. More people have done that than gone through Throne, which I set up because some people were like, I don't want to use Amazon, but I want to support you. And I was like, great, I'll use this other service. Who knows? Whatever. I'm not mad. If it means people are supporting what I do here, that's fucking fantastic, and I appreciate y'all very much. I have a Discord if you feel like hanging out in a cool little place. It's a very chill Discord. You're welcome to hang out there. Feel free to do that. A couple video links for you to check out. I'll have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday. It has been recorded. It has been lightly edited, and it has been uploaded. The most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club that is already on YouTube, which you can watch there, is the one where I talked about some of the worst anime filler. Yes, I did indeed talk about that one episode where Naruto had to fight a mech of Naruto and how it fucking sucks. And I also talked about reoccurring filler characters. They were so bad, and then they fucking brought them back. The guys that farted all the time, the gang of thieves that fart all the time from Fairy Tail. Fucking hate those guys. They fucking brought them back. God damn it. But I talked about a bunch of filler. I didn't talk about Bleach at all. I didn't talk about One Piece at all. I didn't talk about some of the things from Naruto that people have also brought up. But I got plenty of examples of some goddamn shit filler. Arcs and just one-offs. God. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Every week I talk about different anime in under a minute to try to convince you to watch said anime. This month is Isekai month, so I'm talking about 4 Isekai. And one of those Isekai that I talked about is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, currently in its 3rd season. It is such a fun show. I love it so much. It's just such a goofy, weird. It is both a postmodern isekai because it is a slime, not a human. But also it's very much an isekai of an overpowered main character and everybody's fucking overpowered. And then this season they were like, what if we kind of make it a little bit more of a slice of life? And then also let's introduce more isekai characters, including an isekai character who has no real powers except that he is the hero, so things just work out for him, which is a fun character. It's a good bit of business. Let's see. All right, I'm going to talk about some anime that I have been watching. Before I get into that, I do need to drink some water. We got to go over the overhead, and then I got to try to reassemble this leg, because we'll try to do that. So please join me as I dramatically transition to the overhead camera right now. All right. Let me reassemble this leg while I talk about Dungeon People and I Parry Everything, both on High Dive. Okay, so this is the front leg here. So this needs to attach to this. I realized a thing I can do is, before I do that, is I'm going to put some blue tack around. Now, will this help? I don't know, but it won't hurt it. So I'm just going to put some blue tack around here, just kind of as a filler, just kind of as another way to kind of connect all this together. And it just will ooze around, and then it will harden, and it will help a bit. Is this as good as anything else? You know, as like properly sealing it? No, but this might help it some. So we're just going to add some blue tack, and we're going to hope that that works. And if it doesn't work, I don't fucking know. I'll make it work. Because we could also always put liquid cement on this poly cap and do that as well. Actually, I don't think that. Yeah, we'll just remove that. All right. So, will you get in there, poly cap? I want you to get in there. All right. What about you? Will you get in there, poly cap? Nope. All right, broke off. Okay. Can I get you to fit in here? So yeah, we'll hold off on dungeon people for a second while I try to get this together. I also need this to just fucking go in here. It's not, and that's annoying. At some point, I will give up on the leg, and we will move on to the rest of the kit. And I will come back to the leg, but I'm trying to even just get this fucking poly cap to go in there. It does not want to, which is very strange. It should. This is where it came from, so it should go back in. What the fuck? All right, let's use the old tweezers here. Okay. All right. Now that that piece is out, will this work? Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to assemble this leg back with the missing piece out, and then off stream, I'm going to try to get this leg back together. The foot back together, but we'll do all the rest of it. Recombined everything. Move on with our lives. Okay. Got that together. All right. While I'm reassembling this, let me tell you about Dungeon People. This is episode 10 of Dungeon People. If you have not been watching this series, it is about a young lady named Clay. She is a member of the Thieves Guild. She has been exploring a dungeon. She is trying to track down what happened to her dad, who disappeared working in the dungeon. While exploring the dungeon, she is approached by the person that turns out to be the master of the dungeon, the dungeon master and keeper of the dungeon, who wants to hire her. And Clay decides that she is going to work for, who is later named Belle. She's going to work for Belle so that she can get stronger and she can learn more about how the dungeon operates as she tries to find clues to what happened to her dad. Most of this show, up until this episode, there's been some dad stuff, but it's been mostly them dealing with a lot of other shenanigans, the inner workings of it and all that stuff. All right, so let's the various inner workings of how working at a dungeon like this could operate, how these things will work here. All right, so I am going to use some blue tack to kind of keep this in place. And then I'm going to add in some liquid cement. And we are going to hope that the liquid cement adheres so that eventually I can put this foot back on here. and that the all right, so let's do this. So that's where we're at. We haven't really explored too much about Brance, the person that our girl Clay has been trying to find. We don't really know exactly what's going on with that, other than he disappeared in a dungeon, and she's been in this dungeon or something, maybe, and she's been trying to track him down. We find out in this episode, we wait till episode 10 to find this out. Brance is not her blood father. She had parents who passed away, and she was adopted. The Thieves Guild took her in and to look after her, and Brance became her adopted father. But you know what? That's not it when it comes to family. It's not just about who you're related to. Brance treated her like a daughter, and he's gone. So that's the reason why she was exploring this dungeon in the first place, was trying to track him down, find out what happened to him. She has been unable to do so. Okay, so we finished the legs. We're going to move on to, other than this piece, hopefully curing and getting enough that I can then shove it in there and make that work. This will have to be strong enough to live up to the pressure of me putting it into a polycap. I don't know if that's going to work, where I'm hoping it will, but it's got to be able to get into that polycap and not break while I put some pressure on it. And I don't fully think that's possible, but we'll find out. We'll see. We'll see if that holds. Anyway. See. So with that in mind, knowing this information that we did not have before, we cut over to our girl, and she is talking to Belle, the owner of the dungeon, and talking about sleeping habits and how maybe Belle doesn't take enough time off, to which Belle counters, Clay, when have you ever taken a day off? And Clay is just like, oh no, you know what? I guess I don't take any time off. There's a whole thing about Belle lives and works in the dungeon, and maybe she should get a hobby, and that's a fun little bit of business of like trying to figure out like what that is. But yeah, as I said, it does get turned back onto Clay of like, well, what do you do? Do you take time off? So Clay's just like, fine, I'll take today off. That was not obviously not in her intention, but she does agree to take some time off to do other stuff. So she ends up going back to the first floor. There was a little bit of business. I'm sorry. Before she goes to the first floor, there was a little bit of business where Clay was like, I'd actually like a permanent position. You keep sending me to different departments. I'd actually like something, like full time. To which is responded, well, all the managing jobs require magic, and you don't fully have that down. You're still working on getting that together. So we really can't do that for you. So now our girl has a goal. Anyway, she ends up going to the first floor, and she runs into the Minotaur that she fought before she became an employee, way back in episode 1. And she meets. There's some good names in this episode. She meets Pekamo. And Pekamo is just like, oh yeah, it's nice to meet you. And then Clay's starting to notice that there are a bunch of monsters that are around there are kind of keeping their distance, and she's bummed out about that. And Pekamo is just like, yeah, the monsters. Belle told the monsters to like give you some space and not act carelessly around you. So they're just trying to be respectful. Clay is like, hey, actually, I'm looking for a monster. There's a monster out here that has been telling people about a guy named the Wind Slicer guy, like someone who has been described as the Wind Slicer. And I would love to know more about this Wind Slicer. If you could point me at this cat monster. and realizes, oh, there's a cat monster. That cat monster is named Binky. That's right. We got a cat monster named Binky here. And it's just like, hey, I heard you've been talking about this Wind Slicer guy. Let me know what do you think about that? Tell me more about him. And he's just like, that's a really dangerous explorer. He's really fast. Clay is thinking maybe this is Brantz, the guy who raised her. There's a flashback with Brantz defeating a monster by punching it, and Clay wonders if she should start punching monsters because she uses a dagger. And there's a little bit of like advice, survival advice. And Clay is like, Brantz used his fist a lot. I don't think he's a Wind Slicer guy. And Binky's just like, people thought you might be his daughter because the Wind Slicer used to bring a small child to the dungeon. So we thought that was you, which may or may not be her. We don't quite know what the deal is with that. Sorry, I have to put on a sticker here. There we go. And now I need to attach the final sticker, friends. Finally, we got one more sticker to apply, and then I don't have to worry about stickers on this kit. Let's see. So that's like the first half of it, because Clay is just like, all right, well, the Wind Slicer could be my dad. This could be somebody else. And she starts to realize, like, I've gotten stronger, but I don't think I ever saw him fight at his full potential, and I got a long way to go if I want to be stronger than he was, if I want to surpass him. So that's kind of like the first half. And in the second half, a bit of a content warning in the second half. There's no visual, but there's discussion of this. It's about goblins. We go to the goblin breeding grounds. Now, traditionally in this world, in Dungeon People's world, goblins used to kidnap people, women, in order to reproduce with them, and it was not copacetic and cool. And the predecessor for our current dungeon, for Bell's boss, Bell's former master, who used to run the dungeon, apparently came up with a different way. Did not love that. So he came up with making goblins into plants, basically. And so there is a goblin garden. And there are still complications with the goblin garden because as the goblins are harvested, they try to eat the other sprouts that have not been born yet. So you have to go in and do that very quickly. You're going to go get these goblins out real quick. There's a whole thing where Bell is like, I kind of felt bad for the goblins and that they're fodder, and now I do not. So that was just that. I don't think that was played for laughs. I think that was just being like, this place is still weird and not always cool. Again, very strange segment of this here. And she also says that the newborns, if left unattended, would destroy the garden because that's how goblins are. And it ends with our girl Clay being like, "This seems like an awful lot of work for to be doing," or just not quite understanding why so much energy was being put into the dungeon to maintain the dungeon like this. Again, a weird chapter. Not fun to think about the realities of that. The pre-garden, why they have all these goddamn goblins and all that. A stark reminder that goblins are rarely cool. Other than that time was reincarnated as a slime. Those goblins are pretty fucking rad, but most goblins are not cool. In fiction. Oops, I put this on wrong. there. And we are now ready to panel line the waist. The waist is ready for panel lining. Side skirts. We can put the side skirts on. Sorry. It's not ready yet. It's almost ready. All right. And now to a episode that is, I think, a bit more fun. I Parry Everything. If you haven't been watching this show, this is episode 11 of I Parry Everything. Our main character is a dude who went off to study and to learn some skills. The only skill he learned, he has like the fundamentals of magic, but he can't really do much with it. But he does have the ability to parry. He learned that. That's like the only thing he could learn. And he's always been kind of bummed about that he couldn't learn more skills. But he is incredible at parrying. He can parry everything, as is the title implies. Our boy he's currently flying on a dragon with everyone. He defeated this dragon, and the dragon submitted to him. But he does not know that because he has to be dumb for the show to work. He has to be unaware of how powerful and cool he is. And so in this instance, he thinks that Rollo, the demon boy that can talk to monsters, is the master of this dragon. And they don't understand that because he's just like, hey, Rollo, can you tell this dragon to do things? And then Rollo's just like, oh, you want me to? The dragon can understand you, but okay, I can tell him. Anyway, a bunch of heroes that all apparently trained our guy at one point or another. They're going to a rival kingdom that sucked the dragon on them and a bunch of other things. The king, Deirdis, makes it to the castle, and he's like, shoot the big cannon. And everyone's just like, what? He's like, shoot the big cannon at the dragon, protect the kingdom. And like, this could go really wrong. And he's like, do it. So they shoot the big cannon. And of course, Nor, who was unconscious and unaware of what was happening, woke up just in time to see a big energy wave coming his way. And he parries it. And he perfectly parries it so that it blows up the reactor that was used to power the cannon. So this energy mana cannon will no longer work. He basically destroys the cannon completely accidentally, but everyone's just like, wow, he's so skilled. He's so awesome. But he doesn't know that even happened. Nor falls off the dragon, and he happens to land perfectly unharmed in the throne room, just in time to see an old man who he says he does not know is the king, about to be attacked. The generals of the kingdom are staging an uprising. They've had the final straw, and they're like, look, this other kingdom will crush us. We're going to give them your head. So Nor is just like, I would prefer you didn't do that. And they all try to attack him, but they can't because he can parry everything. And then his compatriots arrive, who are the big heroes. And there is we don't see it on screen, but off screen is it heavily implied that one of the main guys, Rain, who is one of the big heroes, that he uses magic to torture the king, and make him feel the pain of all 127 citizens in their kingdom that died because of the previous attack. And they were healing him the whole time. This is the part where the manga has not, this is now past the manga because it's based on the light novel, not the manga. So the stuff that's happening here, I am now just knowing from the anime because I have not, the manga needs to get caught up. Basically, the kingdom has some sort of peace. The grandson of the king is made the emperor, I should say, is made the new emperor, but he's too young, so the generals are basically in charge until he's old enough. And their first act of being in charge is to be like, we are going to make peace with the kingdom, and we apologize so much for all of this bullshit. We're so sorry. The king, when Nor returns, is like, I have to give you something. You can't, like, I don't care if you thought it was all luck. I have to give you a reward. And Nor is just like, okay, the little guy, Rolo, I want him to be a citizen. And the king's just like, oof, oof. There's that holy kingdom. They're going to fucking hate that. They already don't love us. They're going to hate the fact that we have made a demon a citizen. But you know what? Fine. You have protected our kingdom. Sure, we're going to do it. We'll deal with the consequences later. And Rolo is going to go live with Ainz, which is going to be awesome for him because he can finally sleep in a real bed and he can have delicious foods, and it's going to be real nice. And this is good for a little kid demon that we got introduced not too many episodes ago that has been horribly taken advantage of. He's going to have a better life now. And Nor thinks the dragon is still, not his dragon and all this other stuff. There's still, I assume, only one more episode of this left. I can't imagine this show has a 12 episode order, but I am going to check. Let's see if I can find it here on Parry. I Parry Everything. I can't imagine this is 13 episodes. No, it's 12. Okay, so next week's the last episode. I imagine it'll be somewhat of a cliffhanger because they'll want people to go and read the manga and the light novels. Because I don't imagine this will get a second season. But I will say this. We'll talk more about it next week. I Parry Everything is fucking fun. That is a fun series. And I have a good time watching it. And I'll keep reading it as the manga comes out because it's a good little show. All right. So we can now add in. We can add this to the chest here with our connector piece. And we can add this. And then there is a piece that needs to go on. The 8 needs to go on here. And we can do that. Add that there. All right. And then there's some kind of instructions here about what side is what side. I think it's like this. And this is going to go and connect our legs. And see if we can connect there. And this is also where if we were going to put it on a stand, that it would just go right in there. Fine. All right. So this will connect our legs here. And then we can put that in there. All right. And is this... No, this is not hardened enough here, but we can try to happens here. If I can, yeah, this is not hardened and not connected, unfortunately. But I think I might be able to just put enough pressure to get it so it like kind of sits. Yeah, all right. So this will not hold up any weight, but it will connect itself enough for photographs. So I will have to do something drastic if I wanted to display this, but right now it is enough that I can just get it on there so it looks pretty okay. Again, does it look perfect? No. Does it work? Yes. Very unstable on there. But we can still add in the backpack. That is the next thing we need to do. We need to do the butt. Well, sorry, we have the butt pack, and then we have the backpack, and then I don't even know how the shield goes on. Where's the shield? Oh, there's a piece that goes in the shield. All right. So we have a little bit left to do on this. We might not finish it tonight. We might end up finishing this up on Monday, but we can at least put on the backpack here. Or put on the shield. Then we got to build the gun. Right, is this the right piece? D21. I got the wrong piece out there. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? Is there anything going on? I'd always love to hear from you about what you're doing. So you can throw that in the chat because, again, I do like to see it. I will let you know that I currently am, as far as games go, I'm mostly playing Hearthstone. I do have a new deck that I've been playing that I'm liking quite a bit that's very silly. So I've been playing that because it's always nice to have a silly deck. And I have a standard deck that's pretty fun. Everyone is playing a variation of the standard deck. So eventually I will stop doing it because everyone is doing it. Everyone's doing Big Spell Mage. And so now there are counters for Big Spell Mage. And I might try that counter. This does not want to stay in, huh? This kit is really awesome, except for the mistake I made. And then also, I'll say it right now, this adapter here for the shield sucks and doesn't really want to stay in. So that sucks. Yeah, it does not want to stay in. Wild. So yeah, I've been playing most of that. Mostly, I guess I'll just attach it to the back here. Huh. Is there any other thing? There's something I'm missing? No. Yeah, it goes on like that. And then wild. Weird. I was trying to see if there was something else I was doing wrong about putting this shield, this on, and no, as far as I can tell, nothing wrong. It just doesn't sit right. Doesn't sit well. Well, then we won't attach the shield. That's fun. We'll just put the shield near it. Let's continue working on this. Let's do the backpack, the butt pack, as it were. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So I've mostly been playing Hearthstone. I did have a bit of a good time with some Helldivers 2 with some friends. It has been a while since we got the crew together, and we got a bunch of people together to play some of that yesterday, and that was a really good time. I had fun doing that. I'm watching a lot of wrestling, getting caught up on some stuff. Watching again, I talked about the premiere of SmackDown on USA. That was a fun enough show. Kind of neat to see how that works. I'll be watching Yuka Sakazaki's reemergence in AEW tonight, which already happened, of course. But I'll be watching the. Let's see. Do I need B? I do need B. I'm watching the West Coast feed of Collision tonight to check that out, among some other things. Normally on Sunday, I watch whatever happened in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling that weekend, but there isn't any Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling this weekend that will, it's happening, but it's not being streamed. So I won't be able to watch it till next week, which is a shame. So I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know if my wrestle watching crew are going to watch anything wrestling related tomorrow night or not. We haven't figured that out yet. So maybe we will, maybe we won't. I hope we do, because I do really like I like that a lot. I like watching wrestling with my friends, so I would like to do that. But again, I don't know if that is in the cards. There's a couple things we could watch. I might just end up watching something by myself, and we'll wait and watch more wrestling together in the future. Let's see, that's it for C. Yep, that's it for C. There's one more part of B that I need to take out later. We are getting close to the end of this build, which is cool because it's a good build. Again, I don't like the shield, doesn't really seem to work well, and that sucks. And then I broke apart, which has nothing to do with this kit. That is just on me breaking apart. Like that is not no complaint about the kit for that. I'm annoyed at myself for doing this. That yeah, literally I have this foot is going to fall off, and right now the only thing holding this foot on is a little bit of blue tack, and so that's not good. That's not what you want. I'll let you know that. That is not what you want with your model kit. So that's a little frustrating that this kit, which has been fun to build, suddenly has a problem, and it's a problem my own making. Little demoralizing, but it happens. So like I said, what I could also do is I could drill a little bit and then add some metal and then kind of wrap the plastic around it and then glue that all together. I would consider doing something like that if need be. I could go through some parts and scrounge around some parts, see if there's something that I could use to replace it with there, which is possible. It's not necessarily super likely that I would find something that would work in a pile, but I certainly could give that a go. I certainly have done that before, but most likely I will just get it so that I can at least take a photo with everything together and then forget about it. All right, so now we got the butt here. We'll get the butt attached. The butt pack. Butt pack has been attached, and now the backpack with the gun. Our last bit of business here. We are going to wrap this kit up tonight because we are going to complete the backpack. And then and the final gun, which is easy to do. We'll do the gun here. Cut 8. And then once we put the gun on here, what I might end up doing is having to put this kit on a stand because I don't think it's going to lay good for a photo. I'm going to read what Yo wrote. If anybody else wants to add anything to in the chat about what you're up to this lately, I always like to hear from you about that stuff. So if somebody wants to add some information, they can. Ghostfaust has been trying out Caravan Sandwich, which was linked in the Discord. Otherwise, nothing too different. Yeah, that game does seem neat. I'm going to have to check that one out. That seems pretty dang cool. Lashrick reinstalled Satisfactory after fixing your Windows and basically lost the rest of the day. Hell yeah, that happens. I also got to play a bit of that Marvel vs. Capcom collection, and it's been fun playing all the overpowered secret characters. Fuck yeah. Yeah, there's something great about that where you're just like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be playing this. Oh, look who has the advantage. It's me. I have the advantage. I'm doing way better than I should because I'm playing this incredibly powerful alien eyeball thing. Lord Crash says, I played some Satisfactory now that it's out at 1.0 launch. That's so fun. Lashbrook and Lord Crashton both playing Satisfactory, which is a lot of fun as a survival factory building game. Also played some gory Cuddly Carnage, which is an action game of a PS2 Xbox Vintage. Okay, all right, okay. Where you're an anthropomorphic cat, riding a hoverboard, okay, to kill a bunch of enemies in bloody ways with some gross bosses. Lord Crashton, I gotta tell you, I haven't heard a single word before about gory Cuddly Carnage. That's a lot. That sounds like a fucking lot of that's a whole lot of a video game. That could be pretty cool. I have been playing a game that I will be streaming in the future because it's out for me to play it. We'll be taking a look at that in October. Lots of fucked up unicorn enemies. Okay. Hell yeah. All right, Lashbrook. Or Lord Crashing, I should say. That sounds wild. But yeah, I'm going to... I know what the next 2 weeks of streams are going to be. I'll tell you that in a second. I just want to read Dirty. Hey, Dirty says, finished Caravan Sandwich, then moved on to Lollipop Chainsaw. Oh, that's right. Repop is out. And started a new Satisfactory run now that it's out of early access. Okay, that's wild. That 3 of you are like, yeah, I'm playing Satisfactory. That's wild and cool. Good on you. Hope you had a real good time with Satisfactory. That's just kind of funny that 3 of y'all have been playing that. Basically, 3 of the 4 people that told me what you've been playing have been playing that. So that's fun. Okay, so we got our gun done here. We skipped a step. I'm supposed to build the backpack first, which we will build that now. I'm a little rushed because I want to get this done in 10 minutes. Did we drop some stuff? Looks like we had a little... Yes, we have a hiccup. Everything will be okay. Sorry, I don't have any control over this. Can't do anything about this hiccup except that it's just happening. We just got to deal with it. We're back. Back up. Next Lander played it Friday, and I was playing the same time. Hell yeah, Lord Crashington. That's very fun. Yeah, but apologies everybody for the bit rate going to hell. That is instead of me dropping frames. I can't do anything about it. As far as I can tell, everything on my end is fine, and it is a Twitch issue. And there's literally nothing I can do about Twitch issues, unfortunately. Because even before the stream tonight, I unplugged everything, plugged my router back in, plugged my modem back in, redid all the connections, flushed it, rebooted the through software, rebooted the router, did all those things I can do, did everything I can do to make this work, and unfortunately, it's just that sometimes that shit don't work, which is very frustrating. When you want that shit to work and it doesn't work, that sucks. Let's see. Lord Crash says, I did enjoy the start of Next Lander podcast where both Brad and Alex thought Jeff Bakalar was older than them, which I don't know if it's due to Dan's consistent jokes about him being very old. Here's my assumption, Lord Crashington. Jeff Bakalar had a podcast for a very long time, and he has been a boss for a very long time. And Brad kind of said this. To Brad, if you are a boss, you are older than him. And I understand that. That is not an unreasonable thing to think. That it's like, oh well, you know, he was a boss at CNET for so long, he must be older than me. Instead of the reality, which is he wasn't. He just got a bit of power. CNET worked structurally in a way where he could advance, whereas that did not happen at the other place, which is unfortunate, but seemingly accurate. The GameSpot didn't have that kind of advancement. That to me is what happened there. I don't know for sure if that's exactly what happened, but that's what it feels like. Yeah, I guess. I do like you thought Jeff was old enough to see Star Wars in theaters. Yes, again. He just assumes a Jeff with authority is older than him. Meanwhile, I knew my friend Brian, who streams, and occasionally Urban Bohemian is here. Shout outs to Urban Bohemian. I knew he was older than me. I didn't realize that he was 9 years older than me, and he is in his 50s. Brian looks goddamn fucking incredible for a man who is 53. Happy birthday, Brian. He looks remarkable for a 53-year-old. It is rude how fucking good my friend Brian looks. Unbelievably rude. Happy birthday, Brian. I believe it was yesterday. Let's see. As I get ready to wrap this stream up, I will let you know that my next stream is on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Next Tuesday, I will be playing some Hearthstone. I've got some new decks in the latest mini set came out and changed the game up a bit. Shook up the meta. I've got a few decks in there that I think are pretty fun, and we'll take a look at that. And then, is there anything else that we need to talk about on that? And then the following Tuesday will be Pat Bear's Anime Club live, which will be a good time. I am going to put this is how this kit looks. I'm going to put this kit on a stand so that it, whoops. I'm going to put this piece back in. I'm going to put this kit on a stand here for display purposes or for photo purposes. That fell apart. I knew it would. I am going to try to shove this back in for photographs and just use blue tack to keep it in place. My hope is the blue tack will keep it in place enough for me to take a photo once the stream is done. But here's the kit. Unfortunately, the shield adapter doesn't seem to be working well, so I won't include the shield in photos. But this is the kit. I think this kit looks fucking phenomenal. Obviously, the disappointment is on me, not on the kit, and this fucking foot, which I will then again try to reshove in there just to take the photo and then try to fix it on my off time. But I thought this kit was a lot of fun to build and turned out really well. God damn it. Why is everything falling apart here at the end of the stream? Anyway, before everything fucking falls apart and we have another not disconnect, but almost a disconnect issue, I'm going to end the stream. I just got to end this stream. And we are going to end this by going on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here, is we're going to go hang out with some cool people and see what's going on. You don't have to come on this raid, but if you wanted to, that would be great. We would love it as we go find somebody doing cool shit to go hang out with. And then I'm going to go watch some wrestling. So let's see. Who is doing stuff right now? We'll see. How long has this friend been streaming? I always try to check because I think they've been going too long, is my guess. Because I don't want them to wrap up in like 5 minutes, but they might do. All right, we're gonna go hang out with Witchy TQ. TQ is playing Palia. And so we're gonna go hang out with TQ. TQ rules. Hopefully you'll have a good time hanging out with TQ. Feel free to come along on this raid. Let's see here, raid Q. And a reminder, my next stream is on Monday. It's at Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will be starting a Lego set. We'll start a brand new Lego set, and it'll be really fun. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. I hope you come along on this raid. It's going to be a good time. I hope you go and check out the stream again on Monday for more good times. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.